All right, welcome back. This is going to be session 9. We are at Ocala Bets in Ocala, Florida. Needed to change up the scenery. We got to shake it off. We're going to go in here, play a session. Might be short, might be long, depends how things go, but we got to play better. I'm going to try to play a little smaller, or a little slower, not smaller, a little slower today. Think out every decision point, and let's book a win. So let's jump in here. I'll show you a little bit of Ocala Bet. All right, let's jump into the first hand. Trying something different here. I might have to match up the video with the audio as I go through this. But I want to bring you all a little bit better quality, even though I got some shadows going on. I'll get that worked out. But anyways, let's jump right into this first hand. As you can see, I have King 10 of diamonds. We had just got to the table. This is probably within the first 15 minutes. So we're still trying to, this might have been maybe the second hand I played. So under the gun one folds, under the gun folds to me. I go ahead and just limp in with King 10. I want to see a flop, see how these people are playing. It folds around to the button. He's going to limp in also. Now the villain, one of the main, really the main villain in the hand, he goes ahead and raises to 5. Kind of a weird size, and a lot of people do this just with pairs, just to try to build a pot. Big blind calls, I call, button calls. We go to a flop of ace of diamonds, jack of spades, 8 of spades. Checks to me, I go ahead and check, button checks. Turn is a beautiful queen of clubs. All right, so we have the nuts right here. Small blind checks, big blind checks. I could lead here, but the villain, as you can see, he's only really got 24 behind. And when I look over it to him, it looks like he's ready to put it in. He's been pretty aggressive. And he does what I hoped he would do. He goes ahead and goes all in for his last $24. Now, the small blind calls, big blind calls. It comes back to me. It's time to start building a pot. So I go ahead and make it 75 here. I like my sizing. Everything's cool here. And surprisingly, the small blind goes ahead and rips it in. Of course, we're going to snap them off. The river is not the best card. It is the 10 of hearts. So now any king is going to chop with me. But it turns out villain number 1 had ace jack. So he flopped 2 pair, decided to check a street, try to trap. Unfortunately for him, he got trapped. So that'll be our first hand, and let's go to the next hand. All right, so this is going to be hand 2. As you can see, I got pocket jacks. The under the gun player, he goes ahead and limps. I'm going to go ahead and raise it up. I go with 15 here. It folds all the way around to the small blind. He goes ahead and calls. He flat calls in the small blind. Big blind gets out the way, and under the gun gets out the way. Flop comes ace, jack, king. We flop bottom set here. It is a very connected board right here. So when he checks to me, I'm going to go ahead and continue. As I look over the stack, he ain't got a lot, so I'm just trying to get him to the point where he feels like he's committed. So I continue with the same bet that I raised as is 15. He calls pretty much any card that comes off right now. I feel like he's pretty much committed. He only has 55 left in his stack. King of diamonds comes off. He checks. I mean, I'd already kind of made up my mind what I was going to do here. With this card coming off, I could definitely change my my thoughts since I have a full house and see if I can get him another opportunity to either improve or maybe he'll bluff off on the river. I end up going ahead and betting 55, which is a little less than pot, thinking that he was committed. But he ends up finding the fold, but we do scoop a pot here and we hit a set, which is kind of good. And we start to run it back up good again. And now let's go to double board bomb pot and go from there. All right, let's jump into the double board bomb pots. They do this every dealer change. It is voluntary to get in. I always feel pressured to get in there, especially early on when a lot of times we were only playing like 6, 7-handed, and you need at least 5 to do it, and I felt pressured into doing it. At the very end, I'm going to go over the results and how different my results would be if I never got in these double board bomb pots. So let's jump into this one. This is the big one of the day, and at this point, as you could have seen from the last clip, I was over 400. That's about where I'm at when this hand comes up. I was right around, I think, 385, 390 when this hand comes up. So double board bomb pot, everybody puts in $10, even though it's a 1-2 game. Also, this is double raked, which sucks. That's another reason I don't like it, but it is what it is. I'm trying to do what the table wants to do and just you know, have fun with them. Even though I run terribly in these things, I've been coolered, I've been sucked out. Like, I'm probably down like 5 G's lifetime, and double board bomb pots, I'm pretty sure in my lifetime I've won one. And maybe it's just I don't know how to play them right. It could, I'm not, it could just be me. But let's jump into it. So I got 10-5 offsuit. These are the two boards that come out. The guy that is to the left of me that's under the gun, I was actually would have been the small blind person. He goes ahead and shoves all in for 75. He's been doing this almost every board bomb pot, double board bomb pot. That's so hard for me to get them words out too, by the way. But he's been doing this every time. So as soon as he does that and it folds all the way around to me, there's only one person in between us now. I feel like at worst he probably has a 9 or maybe just a single jack here. So I feel like the bottom board I should be able to split with. I'm going to go ahead and take a gamble here, and I go ahead and call. And then the worst possible thing happens. The guy to the left of me, the last guy in between us, shoves all in for 175. It's 100 more to me. I probably should have thought this out a little bit, but because the problem is if he has like jack 10, jack 5, like he could have so much stuff. He could have a set of 10, set of 5s, even though I block it, but I'm hoping he has a 9. So I go ahead and call off, and he rolls over the worst possible thing I want to see. He has pocket jacks, and I'm just drawing dead pretty much. I get no help, and I end up losing a huge double board bomb pot right here. I lose pretty much almost all my profit, and it wasn't what I really needed in the moment. I'm a little frustrated after this happens. Super nice though, as I always am at the table. Tell the guy, nice job. What's funny about this is I wasn't going to play because at this point it got to 8-handed and everybody was playing it, so it was easier for me just to not get involved in them because I'm just not a big fan of them, especially trying to do what I'm doing now with the 1,000-hour challenge. But at the last minute, the guy looked at me and said, man, go ahead, jump in. And it's actually the guy that ends up beating me in the hand. That's what's crazy. It's the guy with the jacks is the one that talked me into it. And at the last minute, right before the dealer went to deal it, I said, screw it. I threw my $10 in, and then I ended up losing 185. Pretty much my whole profit that I'd been grinding for 5 hours into this session. So I want to go at the end. I'm going to go through all the results because there's some different things that go into the results today I want to talk about. So definitely stay tuned to that because I think I can, I want to talk about something that Ocala Bets does that I really like. I kind of touched on it when I leave the room, but after I leave the room, I'm going to come back to y'all and talk to y'all about some, all the results today and some other things to kind of like show you the realistic numbers here. All right, let's jump into, before I go into the next hand, because I got footage of what happens, after this happens, the table ends up breaking. At this point, I'm down a little bit under my initial buy-in because it's a 1-2 game here. I was down to like 185. The table broke. They sent us to another table. The next table I went to, I really tried to force the action, which was a bad idea. I ended up going all the way down to 100. At this point, I knew I was off my game. And I was just going to play until the blinds got back to me. And then I looked down on my very last hand I was going to play at pocket queens. And I end up limp. It goes around because the table's being super aggressive. Guy raise, guy call. I go ahead and back shove. And I'll show y'all the run out. See if we book a profit or leave broke. Watch this.
I don't give a shit. 7 on flop, 7 on turn, 7 on fucking river. As long as there ain't no goddamn.
All right, so for the.
All right, quick wrap up while we walk to the truck here. Still did not play well. The bomb pallet, I had no business being in it. We'll go over that in the review, I'm sure. Yeah, we went through that review. I'm gonna go through the review before I post this, but we book a profit with the queen's hand that I posted. That's a big hand right now for us to leave here, even though it's a small profit. It's all right. We book a profit tonight. I do like the room. They run $1 an hour pretty much for being at the table. So, and we put in a lot of hours. We can
pay for gas and all that here. I do like that. I tried to force the action after we had the table change. That was a bad idea. Games are good. Games are good. We just got to catch cards, got to play better. Bet sizing was way better today. We did that. I want to focus on positives nowadays. I can't be negative all the time and beat myself up. The bomb pot, like I had no bit. I wasn't even gonna play it. Like, I can't go back and change it. But like I said, after the bomb pot, I was chasing what I was up. I was up almost up 200. I was like 400 most of the day. But hey, listen, man, like this is gonna be a grind. I gotta like get back into it. I do like the room here. I do like the room. So we'll be playing more hours here. Like I said, we just gotta play better. I don't feel like anyone outplayed me by no means. Definitely some more educated players here. A lot of educated play. I think that's at Orange Park too. Everybody's getting more educated to the game, but still a lot of profit to be there. As you saw with the Queen's hand at the end, we get the double up, well, a little over double up, and we book a profit. That's all we can do. But come on now. Get in the comments, tell your boy to quit being a punk, and let's go. Let's go.
All right, so I just wanted to touch on some things here and talk about it. I'm going to put the results up here of the session. I want to talk a little bit about these. I'm going to go ahead and put them up there. I'll go over and talk to them. Ocala Bets, they do something a little different. They do 1-2 no limit and 2-3 no limit. They don't do a 2-5 or a 1-3. Not sure why that is, but it is what it is. As you can see, we end up cashing out $255 for a $55 profit. Over 10 hours, $6 an hour. That is not very good, y'all. That is not good. But I do want to talk about that number real quick. I do want to say something before I jump in and explain how the 55 is kind of could have been different. But there was a guy there that I talked to. He played next to me. Me and him was just talking about life and everything. Really great guy. And when he got up to leave, he left. I didn't think nothing about it. About 5 minutes later, the waitress came up and handed me a drink and told me that the guy bought it. Sir, if you watch this, you didn't have to do that. But random acts of kindness like that is what this world needs. It means more than just a drink, even though I enjoyed the drink. It's bigger than that. People like you is what we need more in life and in this world. And when it comes to poker tables, man, there ain't no one better than someone like you. So hats off to you, sir. If you get to see this, or if you've ever watched my content, man, I really do appreciate your gesture there. It means a lot. Also, there was a guy at the table named Andy. He's a producer for some sports, and he told us some great stories. That was great, too. But let's talk about the number here, 55. Oh, one more thing before I jump into this number. Ocala Bets does, I kind of talked about it in a little quick closing. They give you $1 per hour like a comp, but the way it was explained to me, and I'll double check the next time I went, but pretty much you can accumulate it through the year and you can cash it out for cash value instead of having to use it in the building. That right there is really cool. The reason I say that is one person said that they pretty much keep theirs all year playing up there, and then they come and they cash out right before Christmas, and that's kind of like their Christmas savings. That's a good idea. I definitely won't be touching it. I'll be building it up and then maybe cash it out towards the end of the 1,000 hours to add it back in, just to give us a little bump, you know. But I really like the way they do that. If I could put in, 400 or 500 hours in there, there ain't nothing like going up there and getting a $400 or $500 bonus. And I like stuff like that. I love promotions like that where they're going to pay me for being loyal and coming in there and grinding away. I do like that. So shout out to Ocala Bets there. Everything there, the room's clean, the room's new. Like, they got a lot of great things. It was a little slow in there. Even at night, it was kind of slow, but I was there during the week. They say on Friday and Saturday it's popping. Ah, man, this is, I wish I could talk to someone or run into someone that's like really running it, and I would love to sit down and have a conversation with them, because I think they they're in such a good spot, and I believe they should have a ton more business. They need to maybe do a couple of things. I wish I could help them with that. Shoot, I'm always looking for that opportunity, and that would be a great one. But so let's talk about the 55. When I went to this session, I wanted to do something a little different because I've been struggling with all of it. So one of the things I wanted to do was go in there and make it more like it used to be back in the day when I just went in there and enjoyed myself. So I did get some food and drinks when I was there. I ended up spending $45 between tips and food and drink. I paid for all that off the table, so that's another $45, but I mean, I just chalked it up as being part of the game, so I did not put that in my cash out, even though if I would have paid like my own money for that, my cash out, you had another 45, I would have won 100, which would have almost doubled the hourly, closer to 10, but that don't matter. I went in there. Most of the time, I probably won't be doing that, but on this day, I wanted to go in there and have a little fun, and it definitely helped. Having a couple of drinks and a little bit of food did help, and like I said, that'll work. I enjoyed it. Another thing, I showed the one double board bomb pot. As I said, it's $10 every time they do it. They do it every dealer change. You can opt in, opt out. The only pressure really comes from the players. I ended up, you saw the one where I lost the 185. I ended up not winning one bomb pot like I always do. And I went back and figured out how many I played, total losses. $255 lost in double board bomb pots. $255. So let's think about adding that 255 to the 55 we won if I would have never got involved in any of them. Would have been a great session. I'd have been in here pumped up. So, I mean, it is what it is. That's part of the game. I'm not really a big fan of the double board bomb pots, but I am a huge fan of Ocala bets, so they'll be seeing a lot of me. I will see y'all next time. I appreciate like, subscribe, comment. One more thing, total results. $850 now total that we've won. The hourly is $19.35. Hopefully we can get that to keep on going up. So I'll see y'all next time. There's going to be another episode coming very soon. I played a session a day after this one, 2 days after this one at St. Augustine Best Bet. And y'all are going to get to see me talk about something that definitely I want to vent about Best Bet and hopefully not get myself in too much trouble with them. But it's just ridiculous. So I'll see y'all next time.